So, are you someone who sees through the veneer of surface realities and prefers getting to the root of things? You might also find yourself frustrated with those that take things at face value and are not willing to dig deeper. So, what you're about to watch is a shorter clip of a longer video where we were looking at 3 different archetypes for how we each relate to our reality that can influence the types of sources that we're drawn to and the types of perspectives that we share. And just having this awareness can really help us understand ourselves and each other better and make it a lot easier for us to navigate complex conversations. So whether or not you identify with this archetype, I encourage you to keep listening because I can guarantee that you know somebody who relates to this. And beyond that, the more we understand about this, the more we can understand some of the dynamics that play out when we come together to negotiate our shared reality. So I hope you enjoy. So let's start with those that are more connected to the deeper understandings of things. So these are people who tend to see through the veneer of certain realities and who are more interested in getting to the root of things by looking below the surface and behind the scenes. And because of this, they are more inclined to dig deeper into their emotions, into the subconscious mind. They're more inclined to look back into childhood to better understand certain dynamics and behavior patterns so that they can shift those things at the root. They are more interested in understanding what's going on behind the scenes of certain systems or news events and things like that happening. They don't usually take things at face value, and they may actually get very frustrated with those that do seem to take things more at face value and who are not willing to dig deeper and maybe get a little uncomfortable with some of those deeper places. And so they really feel the world very deeply. And because of this, they may be very empathetic and understanding. They are probably interested in bringing in more preventative measures for certain types of issues. So they're more likely to share perspectives that connect to these deeper places and that bring in a deeper understanding of things and also bring in some of the more preventative types of measures that we can do to prevent these surface realities from becoming real. And the reason why they're so interested in looking at things below the surface is because they understand that in order for real change to happen, it needs to happen at a more foundational level. So they're probably going to be drawn to sources of information that are more thorough and that go deeper. So they may like to watch documentaries. They may be more interested in investigative types of journalism, in human interest stories, and possibly even conspiracy theories, although not everybody that is connected to the deeper understandings is necessarily into conspiracy theories. And that's a whole other conversation, by the way. So we'll talk about that another time. So obviously, based on what I just shared, there are many benefits to connecting to these deeper places. There, of course, are also some downsides. So if someone is connecting to the deeper understandings at the neglect of some of these other levels, they can become overly enmeshed in some of the emotions and the deeper issues of things. And they may not always set appropriate boundaries or really see reality for what it is because they're more focused on understanding why things are happening or understanding more about why people do what they do. And so this can lead them into things like codependency, enabling, or not really responding to certain realities in the way that they maybe should in the moment. They can also get really caught up in some of these human interest stories or conspiracy theories. And as we know, that can sometimes be problematic. So I hope that gave you some valuable insight into how you or others may be relating to reality. And I encourage you to check out the other two archetypes because I think we all have a little bit of all of them in us. And of course, this can also be helpful for better understanding where everyone's coming from when we come together to share our perspectives. So I will link the full video as well as the two other shorter clips below. My name is Sheila, and the overall purpose of this channel is for us to zoom out and connect to the big picture. And by understanding all the different pieces of the big picture, that can help us orient ourselves and understand more about where we're all coming from and what we're all seeing. It can really help us to bring together the big picture when we come together. And there's a lot more to this, but I'll just leave it at that. So I encourage you to stay tuned to this conversation. And what I want to do from here is look more into some of the dynamics that play out with these different levels of view and how we can use this awareness to help us navigate all of the interesting dynamics and complexities that we face. So thank you so much for listening. I would appreciate any feedback and any support you can give to helping these ideas get out there. And I really hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.